headquarters of America, corner of Kingston and Eastern Parkway, 770 Eastern Parkway, basically the Jewish headquarters of the world and of America. And we're just finishing this massive 3-day-long Jewish holiday. People are just winding down, essentially. There's a lot of people inside, but the connection is not so good inside. So we're just going to stay outside for now, maybe walk around. But yeah, basically people are just hanging out. There was 3 days where Jews went without like any electricity or without any secular work, pretty much just pure praying, and doing other stuff, pretty much. So there's a massive holiday season that commemorates the Jewish New Year. They built this entire tent on the service road, as you can see. It goes for about half a block, huge, to allow new guests who came for the season to hang out and pray. And there's a lot of nice guests who came to the community during the Jewish New Year. The Jewish New Year was about 3 weeks ago, and after that there was a series of other holidays that went for a long time. And just today, all the holidays just ended, just finished. I mean, they continue throughout the whole year. But the most recent holiday we just celebrated was when the Jewish people just finished the entire Torah. Basically, every week on the Sabbath, the Jewish people read a little bit of the Torah. And we just finished reading all of the Torah, the entire Torah, basically, was just finished. And at the end of the Torah, it talks about how Moshe ascends the mountain, and then he doesn't go to the land of Israel, but he sees the land of Israel, and then it says he passes away. But really in the Talmud it says that Moshe never really passed away. Moshe lives forever, basically. And it says that in the Torah, it says that his face did not wrinkle, his skin did not dry out, etc. I mean, Rashi says that it's obvious that his skin did not dry out. He wasn't like a regular old man, because it says earlier that when the Creator told him to go to the top of Mount Nevo, which is a huge mountain, it says that Moshe jumped to the entire mountain with only one leap. He basically just jumped, and then all of a sudden he was able to go all the way to the top of the mountain, starting from nothing. So Moshe was not just some old man. He was 120 years old, but he was able to jump the entire mountain. So Rashi says that when the verse says that Moshe's face, the skin did not dry out, that refers to not only was he not like an old man like regular people, but even after his passing, Moshe never actually, his body did not deteriorate in any way, pretty much. So it was like super miraculous. So as you can see now, so then that's the end of the Torah. And then right after that, the Jewish people read the beginning of the Torah, which says in the beginning, Elohim, the Creator, made the heavens and the earth. And that was the beginning of the Torah that we just started, which is a new cycle of the Torah. And here you can see people who came for the holiday just hanging out. After the holiday's done, now they're going to a bunch of different stores, because we did not have any electricity or any kind of secular business for 3 whole days. Right now at the corner of Kingston and Union in Brooklyn, 11213, which is across from the Jewish World Headquarters of America, just exploring the community, seeing what Jew people are up to. Basically, there was 3 whole days where the Jews went without any communication, without any electronic communication. No electronics, no other business transactions, no brushing teeth, etc. 3 whole days. It's not always 3 days. Sometimes it's just like 2 days. But this year, it happened to be 3 days, because the holiday itself is 2 days, but then the Sabbath is also like a holiday, and the Sabbath this year happened immediately after the holiday. So there's 3 days of just pure holiness. And now people are just winding down, going to restaurants to get some stuff to eat, etc. in Crown Heights. So this is in Brooklyn, New York, for those who are asking in the comments. This is America, American soil, 100% all the way. Yeah, this is basically the Disneyland of Judaism. So yeah, this is America. Crown Heights, which is very popular. Basically, there was the Jewish New Year a few weeks ago, and people came for the holiday. There's like a bunch of different holidays that happen around the Jewish New Year time. And they last for about 3 weeks. And right now, we just finished the last of the holidays. They continue deep down throughout the entire year, but we just finished, on the surface level, we just finished the holiday, which is pretty brutal, because they lasted for a long time. A lot of happiness, a lot of holiday season, holiday cheer, etc. And in this past holiday, we just finished reading the Torah. Usually, every week, the Jewish people read a little bit of the Torah. And then this day of the year was when we finished reading the Torah. And we started reading the Torah again from the beginning of the Torah, interestingly enough. So the end of the Torah talks about Moshe passing away, so to speak, even though he didn't really pass away because Moshe still lives on forever, as it says in the Talmud. But the simple meaning of the Torah says that Moshe went up to the mountain, this mountain called Mountain of Vo, and he saw the land of Israel, but he did not go to the land of Israel. It says that he wanted to go, but the Creator decided that he shouldn't go. So he says that he stood on top of the mountain and he saw the entire land, but he did not go into it. And the commentators say that not only did he see the land, but when he saw the land, he saw everything that's ever going to happen to the Jewish people for all generations. He was basically a time traveler. He saw all the future generations, everything that's going to happen up until the resurrection of the dead, which is when he's going to come back. Anyway, someone in the comments said, "What is this guy saying?" We're talking about how the Torah just finished. We just finished reading the Torah. At the end of the Torah, it talks about how Moshe went up to the mountain and he saw the entire land of Israel. And then it says that he didn't only see the land, but he also saw all the future events that are ever going to happen to the Jewish people in the land of Israel. He saw it TikTok, YouTube, etc. He saw everything. And then that's the end of the Torah. And then the Torah starts again from the beginning of creation, which says, in the beginning, Hashem created the heavens and the earth. And briefly, where are we right now? Right now we are in President Street in Crown Heights, where this guy named Moshe Bashkin, he closed off a large part of the street so he could build this giant temporary structure to allow people to eat here. And he has basically just unlimited food 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for a little more than a month and a half plus tax. So people come from all over and then to Crown Heights for the holidays. There's a lot of extra guests, so this guy just gets all this infinite food. How can I donate? Someone said in the comments. That's a good question. I'm not even in charge of it, so I don't even know. Look up Moshe Rabashkin tent. I'm sure there's probably signs on the line somewhere. Rabashkin. Just spell it however you think it sounds, and Google will probably correct you. Okay, is this a sign right here? No, this is not. Oh yeah. Crown Heights is greeting the thousands of guests with a welcome. Okay, maybe this is, here we go, here. The best care for the Rebbe's guests. Charity.com/guests Crown Heights. Oh, this is actually not for the tent. This is for something else. This is a different tent that other people made. So this donate link is not the donate link for this. Totally different donate link. But theoretically, people could go there anyway. Anyway, so I'm not even in charge. I mean, I'm not even the one getting the money, so it's not even going to me. He's like multi-millionaire anyway, so he sponsors it. Yeah, so this is basically, you can see the whole thing. They have this huge structure, and let's take a look at the food they have. Basically, they have just unlimited food for everyone. Let's take a look real quick. Ooh, look at this nice matzah. I guess they ran out of bread, so they're just giving us matzah. But it's good, can't complain. Or can you? Here they have hot water, filtered water. Let's take a quick look here. They have more food coming in right now. There's a kitchen, makeshift kitchen in the back. They have a lot more food coming in now. Makes sense. Nice. I don't even know what that is actually. Hopefully it's actually good. We have like some week-old tuna that's been left out for a few years. Right now we're in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, New York, for the people in the comments wondering. And yeah, there's basically just unlimited food just all the time. People, that still stays hot and stuff. Yeah, so anyways, maybe I'll get some food later. By later, I mean soon. So anyways, the Torah, we just finished the Torah. And we started reading the Torah over from the beginning of the Torah. And the beginning of the Torah talks about, in the beginning, the Creator made the heavens and the earth. Basically. And then the Torah talks about the creation of the world, and then how the Creator singled out the three forefathers, which is confusing. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and as the fathers of the chosen nation, etc. And then basically, so that's what it talks about in the book of Genesis. But then actually the commentator comes along and says, wait a minute, why does the Torah need to tell us about the creation of the world and all these stories the Torah is not like a book of stories. I mean, the stories that the Torah says are true, but the word Torah means lesson. The actual, what's it called? Etymology of the word Torah is lesson. So the Torah is meant to teach us actual lessons of what to practically do in life. So what's the point of the Torah just telling us all these like stories about the creation of the world and the Creator singling out Abraham, etc. in the beginning of the Torah? Really, the Torah could have started later in the narrative when the Jewish people already became a nation and when they were already getting laws. The Torah could have started from the first law. But Rashi says, very interesting and very relevant to modern times nowadays, Rashi says that the entire reason why the Torah began with the creation of the world and with the story of Genesis is only in order that in case the people, the nations of the world, would mistakenly say that the Jewish people stole the land of Israel, if they would make that terrible mistake to think that they would say that, if they think that the Jewish people stole the land from the Canaanite nations who lived there for a few hundred years before, then the Creator knows He's giving us a lesson what to tell them, because the Creator starts out in the Torah, which is an eternal testament for the whole world, that He created all of the land in the entire universe. All the land. So all the land belongs to the Creator because He's the Lord of the land. So He's the landlord, essentially. So since the Creator made all of the land from nothing, then all the land belongs to the Creator. So therefore, since all of the land belongs to the Creator, He can rightfully give the land to whoever He wants and take it away from whoever He wants. And we know from the rest of the book of Genesis how the Creator singled out Abraham because of his righteousness and gave the land to Abraham as an eternal inheritance forever. It says clearly, I have given you this land as an eternal inheritance. And He lists all the specific Canaanite nations that were living there at the time, and He says, these people, they're living there now, temporarily, but really, the Creator says, I'm going to give it back to your descendants in a few generations. But the Creator essentially gave it to Abraham forever as an eternal inheritance. It can never be taken away from Abraham and Abraham's descendants, the Jewish people, forever, for all time, because of that promise that the Creator made to Abraham. And that even if the Jewish people were kicked out of the land later, then the land always belongs to them because of that eternal promise that the Creator gave to Abraham. And not only to Abraham, but then the rest of the book of Genesis goes on to say how He gave it to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob specifically is the ancestor of the Jewish people. So that's the reason why the Jewish people always have an eternal right to the land of Israel, because that promise that was given by the Creator of the entire universe to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And He says, I've given you this land. And then Rashi says that is in fact the entire reason why the book of Genesis is even in the Torah at all. That's the reason why the Torah even tells us that the Creator made the world in the first place, in the detail that it tells us, and why the Creator singled out Abraham. The whole reason is just in case the nations might make the terrible mistake to think that the Jewish people stole the land of the Canaanite nations. But no, the Creator told us, He gave us a clear testament for all generations to see that this is the word of the Creator. That the Creator gave it to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob forever. And that's why the Jewish people have the eternal right to the land. And this is in the very beginning of the Torah, literally. So this is the part of the Torah that Jewish people all over the world just started reading. So it's kind of divine providence that we're talking about. I mean, in fact, not only that, but this whole war that started last year, October 7th, was actually on the same holiday that we're in now. So right now it's been officially a year in the Jewish calendar as well. And the day that the war started last year was the same day that the Jewish people were reading in the Torah and in the Rashi commentary that the Creator gave the land to the Jewish people forever. But I mean, then after they were kicked out by the Romans, then it's like, okay, they were kicked out, technically. The Romans got it from force. But since it was given to Abraham as an eternal inheritance forever, the Jewish people never relinquished their claim to the land. Even when they were outside the land always belonged to them. And then in modern times, the Jewish people simply just took it back peacefully and legally through legal means in 1948. It was all legal. So because it was all just legally, they got it back through winning the wars that were started against them. Then they can keep it now because the Creator gave it to them forever, and they never broke any laws to get it, basically. So that's basically one of the reasons why the Jews have the eternal right to the land forever. Some guys in the comments be funny. Okay, whatever. Yeah, so yeah, literally this week's Parsha is the lesson that the Creator gave us forever to tell the nations of the world that the land belongs to the Jewish people forever, because it was given to us by the Creator of the land, who created the land. It's just He created the land. He owns the land, and also all the other sides in this conflict also acknowledge that. Even the Muslims agree that the land of Israel was given to the Jewish people and Abraham. They just like to ignore it a little bit. But once the Jewish people are strong with this claim, then even they will agree with it as well. And even America is founded by the Bible as well. So even America will accept the claim. Everyone will accept the claim. Once the Jewish people just make a strong claim about it. So yeah, let's take a look at this food that people are serving. Maybe I'll take a little bite myself, while we're here. And it's a very popular location. Yeah, so if anyone's wondering what evidence we have that the Torah is true, because millions of people saw the Creator reveal Himself at Mount Sinai. Other religions are just based on the testimony of one guy, or maybe a couple guys claiming something, and then just based on those claims and nothing else. But the Torah is based on the direct eyewitness testimony of literally millions of people. The Creator came down in this big fire from the sky with millions of angels, and He told the Jewish people that He's the Creator, and they could all hear Him, and they saw this huge fire descending from the sky, and it's pretty much undeniable revelation. Not only revelation to one person, but a mass revelation to all of the Jewish people at the same time. And that's how we know it's true, because you can't have millions of people get together to make up something like that. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so I'm going to try to wash for bread now to eat this meal here in the sukkah, because it's kind of a good thing to eat bread after the Sabbath. So I'm just going to humbly do it real quick. Here, let's see. Let's wait for there to be availability. Wait for there to be an availability, and then we'll get to it. Where was Israel before 1948? Israel was in the same place it was now. Anyway, let's get to it. I'll get right to it. Here, I'm gonna do the special ritual to wash washing the hands. On the first line. Yeah, there's a lot of comments here. Anyway, you can try to kind of see in the back, more peaceful.
You're the guy that makes the
All right, well here we are. I was looking for something to try to prop up the phone, but I can't really find anything. So I'm just gonna try to hold it. Might not work, but we'll see. Nice, nice. Yeah, so this is basically people just enjoying the sukkah. It's basically during this Jewish holiday, the Jewish people make temporary structures, like that has a few walls with mainly like leaf or bamboo roofs that they eat in for 7 days. But now the holiday ended now, but we're still eating in it because they didn't have time to take down the stuff.
What's that?
Someone asked, where am I from? Well, I'm originally from California, but now I live in New York City, Brooklyn. Someone said, I'm in Hollywood, California. That's cool. I was in Hollywood, in the Brea area, but now I moved to Brooklyn a few years ago. Someone said, what do Jews eat, brother? Jews actually do not eat brothers. They eat food. But I don't know, they eat a lot of stuff. Sushi, matzah, chicken. Someone asked, can I ask some question about your religion? Yes, you just asked one. Now you can ask another if you actually want. New York, that's a good one. Yes. In a tunnel? No, I do not live in a tunnel yet, as far as I know. The Jewish people dug some tunnels a few years ago, and then they were discovered in January. But no, they were filled up with cement. Right now we're eating a meal after the Sabbath, which consists of different stuff. It happens to be tuna, plus some people are having chicken and stuff. I don't know why people are commenting all this ridiculous stuff. So yeah, it's brutal. Yeah, basically the whole point of this Rashi and this Parsha is to tell us the Jewish people have an eternal right to the land of Israel because the Creator created the whole world and gave it to us, basically. If anyone wants to come find me and be in the live, they could. Right now I'm on President Street between Brooklyn and even Kingston Avenue in Crown Heights. This is basically a sukkah that this guy Moshe Boschkin made for the holiday of Sukkot, the Jewish holiday. But it's still up now, even though we just ended the holiday, like literally a couple hours ago. So they didn't have any time to take it down yet. But people are basically just eating here non-stop for weeks with unlimited food. And it's pretty ridiculous in a good way. So yeah. And again, this has the Jewish people just finished this really cool holiday where they just finished the entire Torah and started Torah over from the beginning. And the very first verse of the Torah, the commentary Rashi on the very first verse talks about how the whole reason why the Torah tells us about the creation of the world is just in order so that the Jewish people should be able to tell the nations that the whole world belongs to the Creator, and therefore He can give the land to whoever He wants to give it to. And He gave it to the Jewish people forever and for all time. So take a look at this nice food here. Maybe we'll take some. Look at this, delicious. Look at these delicious sacrificial foods. Pretty intense. Nice. Yeah, these nice sacrifices people are eating. It's good. And yeah, basically a lot of stuff going on. You see there's women's section over there, but we're not really going to film there so much, just a little bit. So is that, aren't the side curls mandatory? No, they are not, believe it or not. The Torah just tells the Jews not to cut their sideburns with the razor, but they could cut it with other stuff, and they could also, as long as they leave a certain amount of hairs, then it's fine. Only for like a tiny bit. Here we go. Here we go. I'm just gonna try to hold this in one hand and the phone in the other hand. It's pretty intense. Sorry. I heard him.
Нет, это сегодня это мы вам показывали.
Yeah. That was pretty intense training. Finally made it, relatively speaking. By relatively, I mean relatively. Anyway, so here now you can enjoy it. I got this bottle. You guys can see people. Anytime. Yeah, the Torah. And then, someone asked in the comments, how long? Okay, I don't know what you're asking. Anyway, the point is that the Torah talks about the creation of the universe from nothing. And really, it says that in the commentaries of Chassidus that not only was the universe created one time, but really the universe is created every since from nothing, literally. So, and this is in the book of the Tanya called Sefer HaTanya, Tanya, part 2, is where it talks at length about how not only did the Creator create the universe originally, but at one time in this parsha, but every second the Creator is constantly bringing all of existence into being from absolutely nothing at all. This guy keeps spamming this question. She-Wolf 2025. Interesting question. Question about the Torah in Israel. Did the Jewish people become arrogant and go against God, so their punishment was to not have the land till the Messiah comes? Well, the Jewish people did sin 1,000 years ago, and they were kicked out of the land of Israel. But it doesn't say anywhere that they can't legally acquire parts of it until the Messiah comes. It just says that the Romans came and kicked the Jews out, so they weren't supposed to like forcibly conquer it or anything. But no, I mean, if the Jews legally buy it again, then they can come back, which they did pretty much. And then all the other wars they fought were only defensive wars, so it doesn't really count as conquest. So yeah, I mean, there is a concept that they were not supposed to go conquer it again en masse, but that doesn't apply to the land of Israel in modern days. When the Messiah comes, though, we will have the entire land, and the entire world will become Israel, essentially. There'll be one Jewish king for everyone. Someone says, it's hard to believe all Jewish people are light-skinned. Well, first of all, they're not all light-skinned. Just happens to be that a lot of light-skinned guys hang out here, but they're also not. And I don't know. Secondly, I'm not sure why I start to believe. So basically, to these guys, you are with work. Yeah, I mean, people work. Depends who you ask. What makes kosher food kosher? Kosher food is kosher if it lacks ingredients that make it not kosher. In order for food to be not kosher, it's either derived from certain animals, like pigs or other animals that are not kosher, or certain kinds of plants, if they are picked within 3 years of the fruit tree being planted, then they're also not kosher, and certain other laws in the land of Israel. But mainly animals. Mainly if there's forbidden animals or bugs in the food, it becomes not kosher. But then, even if the animal itself is kosher, like even if it's a chicken is kosher, so even if someone has a chicken, in order for the actual chicken to be able to be eaten, it has to be slaughtered by a certified Jewish slaughterer who knows certain there's a lot of intricate laws on how to slaughter it. And then after it's slaughtered, then they also have to remove all of the blood from the chicken, which is a very intricate process that takes a long time. So they have to, first of all, it has to be a kosher animal. Second of all, they has to be slaughtered by a kosher slaughterer. And third of all, they have to remove all the blood through an intricate salting process. Those are the three things what makes. And for vegetables, the vegetables themselves are mostly all kosher except the bugs are not kosher. So vegetables have to be checked intricately for bugs. Make sure there's no bugs. And a lot of vegetables have bugs, so they have to like wash it a lot and take out all the bugs, basically. Pretty intense. Yeah, the details of what animals are allowed or not is detailed in the Torah and the Talmud, mainly in the Torah itself, it says. But yeah. Someone asked in the comments, if I want to read the Torah, can I buy any Torah online? Or are the online Torahs secular? Online Torahs. You could buy Torahs online, but then if you buy it online, then they would come in a physical book, first of all. So, are all physical books kosher? That's a good question. Most translations of the Torah are good, except Sefaria is the one that people use all the time. And there are many articles that says that the translations that Sefaria.com uses are very bad, and they should not be trusted at all. But as long as someone uses a legitimate Orthodox Jewish website for translations, then they're good. I recommend Chabad.org translation. They have the Tanakh, and other Orthodox sites that have the Torah online. There's also something called the Kehat Chumash, K-E-H-O-T, Chumash, C-H-U-M-A-S-H, which has like some good English commentary of the Torah. Can someone convert to Judaism or only through mother? Will they be considered, quote, real Jews? She-Wolf 2025 asked. Yes, anyone can convert to Judaism if they want to. But there's no obligation to convert to Judaism. But if someone does convert to Judaism according to Orthodox Jewish conversions only, then they are fully Jewish 100%. No doubt about it. No different than any other Jews. The problem nowadays, there's a bunch of fake conversions, like Reform conservative conversions, which are definitely absolutely fake. One should never do Alright, got cut out for a second. So if someone's mother is Jewish, then they are Jewish by birth. But if someone's mother is not Jewish, they can always convert to Judaism if they want to. But there's no obligation to convert to Judaism. But if they do convert properly, then they are fully Jewish. And there's many commandments in the Torah not to oppress the converts, because they're considered fully Jewish. Where are the women and children? They're in a separate section, as I mentioned earlier, down the block. because they do not have men and women sit together in the same area, even though they both obviously are valid just people, obviously, but they have the same rights and everything, but we just don't mix the two together because it's very bad. It's actually evil to mix them together, so we don't mix them together. So they have a separate area where they're sitting, which is why we're not filming it, because I'm actually a man, believe it or not, so I'm not going to go in that area. But they have areas, and the children, they could be here theoretically if they want to, but they're not, because I guess it's past their bedtime. It's like 12, it's midnight. But people, there are some children that hang out here once in a while. But yeah, basically. Can't tell if you guys are still there because no more comments. I'm gonna put it down because I'm not sure if it's still here.
כן, אבל התאריכים זה שבועיים בערך. התאריכים שאז בדקתי, של השנה, התאריכים שעכשיו, לא.